Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
YouTube.
We're here to do some post commentary on the uh, what month is it?
It's
February Trinity
January.
Cup.
The
No, this is
January
the
2021
it.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Trinity Cup, aka YTC.
Yeah, we're recording this in February, but it's the January Cup finals here. The finals match
The
is Folo versus Burritos, and Folo's on Pendulum very unexpectedly, and Burritos is on Zombies. Starting the replay here. This cup was actually really interesting in Top Cut because actually 3 zombies made it to Top Cut,
I
including
haven't seen
me.
zombies in a while, honestly.
Oh, you know what? I can turn on hide hands and we can do this like it's actually live.
So we get to see it live, but not live.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, of course we already know the result of this match, but we're gonna pretend that we don't.
Just
So it
imagine
should be an
that you don't
interesting one.
know who wins.
Mm,
All right, so Breeder's gonna go first. Shuffles the hand, of course. Okay, he's gonna
always
summon a Condemn Witch. Probably add
droplets
maybe,
usually.
yeah, probably
Chalice is also
droplets.
valid.
I've
And
seen some
Lance
people
is
play
valid in
Lance.
like really niche situations, but eh.
All right. Oh, Chalice. Okay.
Ooh, Chalice. Okay.
Gonna summon a
If
card.
you haven't noticed yet, we've got some amazing music playing in the background. This is a first for Trinity commentary.
Hey, Burrito set 3 cards, like the Trinity format.
Exactly. That's how
Okay,
you do
they
it.
sniped the Chalice.
So, what's really interesting about the zombies in Top Cut is they're all like drastically different builds. So I know I was playing Vendread. I was the only one on Vendread. That's kind of like a mid-range zombie strategy, really. Uh,
Yeah.
Burrito was on just like straight zombie control, and that's why he's got the condemned witch here. He wants to trade the opponent for resources and kind of win in the late game.
All
And
right,
then
Fall's gonna use
the third zombie player deleted user was just on straight up Skull Servant OTK and made it to Top Cut.
Skull
So
Servant. You may not think it's good due to Trinity rules, but if you read the cards, King of the Skull Servant and White Prince, or not White Prince, White. Forgot the name of the card. Uh,
it's not White Prince, it's White
White
Mare.
Mare. Yeah, both King of the Skull Servants and White Mare and Skull Servant itself are unbound by the Trinity rules, which means you can run 3 copies of it, despite the Highlander-ish rules of Trinity.
Yeah, it's really nuts. Zombie had a big showing this cup because White Baking released, which is kind of just a nasty card for Skull Servants. I wasn't actually running it. I didn't run a Skull Servant engine,
White
but
Baking is very good. I
it's
think
insane.
the card just by itself. I
I
think the
believe
card
if
is
it
like a plus
hits the
three.
great, I believe what it does is if it hits the graveyard, it adds 2 cards that mention Skull Servant
Yeah, it adds
or
two
something like
cards
that.
that mention Skull Servant, and then you get to discard one. So
Ooh,
what you do
so
is
it,
you
it dumps the White
activate it,
Prince.
you search, and then you dump White Prince. White Prince effect, get all that stuff in the graveyard, and then you just get a juiced up Skull Servant or King of
But
Skull
while
Servants.
we were talking about that, Burrito's Witch here, it actually went into lap tier for the generator engine that he's running. This is really neat because the zombie generator is actually like a pretty good tool for zombies anyway, but it also gives him access to Har, which is a neat stun option.
Har is an
Just for its
amazing card.
anti-searching effect is really nice.
You're gonna see Folo pop off a little bit. Goes into Savage. Now he's officially able to beat over Har.
Yeah, what's crazy about Folo's deck, he had a perfect record this cup. I don't think he lost once. He didn't lose one match, and I don't know if he lost a game or not. But the thing about it is, people don't know where the choke point in Pendulum is. I don't know where the choke point in Pendulum is. Honestly, there really isn't one. The choke
Like,
point is just scales, but sometimes he has an extra scale if you pop one. Like, it's hard to deal with.
yeah, Pendulum has so many options. I know. See, the thing is that Folo is really our only Pendulum player, and we say Pendulum as a deck is kind of broken, but I've been thinking that Folo is just kind of broken.
Yeah, Folo as a player is broken. He's optimized the shit out of this deck. Oh, there's the white baking. We're seeing it.
Right.
Oof.
We're gonna see some plussing here. Yeah, Pendulum is insane. They just have so many tools, so many options.
Yeah, specifically this Folo build of Metalfoes and Endymion, sometimes Magician, sometimes Performapal. It's just like a little splash of anything that might work, you know,
Saw the
and it
White
just does
Prince,
work
and then
for Folo.
Burrito sets 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Did it just come off Prosperity? Did we not actually add it to hand?
Probably. I think
Gonna check the
Burrito added White Prince instead of.
Yeah,
White
he
Bacon.
might have just added it. No.
Oh,
Okay, so he did add the white baking, but he didn't have anything to discard it.
You see, one cool thing you can do is you can actually summon the White Baking and then link it off for like Link Rebo or Anima would actually be very good here if he was to summon it and then summon Anima. He could proc the Savage Negate and also pop the White Baking.
I peeked at the log there. You can't do that in an actual live commentary, but evidently the monster he's set there is the white baking, so he's banking on that.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a good plan here, especially with the Orichalec. This is the Metalfoes nobody cares about, but it has double piercing.
This card is Blue Eyes Chaos Max, except not as good.
Except bad.
Still very good. Yeah, we're gonna see...
yeah, Folo's just gonna get in for a ton of damage, and I think
absolutely so much damage here. I'm not
yeah,
sure if Burrito really has
defense?
anything that can come back from here. I think he gets the pop baking, right? So he's gonna add White Mare Prince, I believe. That's how you do it. Oh no!
Yeah, actually, Savage Negate's still alive, and then Folo's gonna call him out for the double piercing.
Yeah. Yeah,
this
probably
is just
should have made Anima there. A little bit of a blunder.
Yeah, this is just kind of not a great showing, actually. The thing is, Burrito's deck needs like a turn and some space to get its engine going, and
right, we're gonna see the Ice Dragon's Prison come down. Gonna summon the Ray.
Yeah, Folo's deck will just, if you aren't trying to keep up with its tempo, it will crush you into the ground.
Yeah, the deck is pretty insane. It adds so many cards. Some Pendulum cards, especially things like Mastery, are unbound. So that card is pretty insane. Just adds things, places spell counters, gets all your Endymion cards running.
Like Folo always says it's RNG, his deck bricks, but that's only partially true.
I don't think I've ever seen Folo brick. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It does brick in the sense that he doesn't always get the scales for a Pendulum summon, but he typically has something, whether it's Sky Striker or passed on a Gradle when he's running that. He always has something for when he doesn't find his scales.
Yeah, despite Folo's deck being quote-unquote Pendulum, he does run a lot of other engines, like Sky Striker, and he once played Gradle, so when you don't get the Pendulum skills down, it doesn't matter the most. Of course, getting the Pendulum skills down is what Pendulum wants to do, but if you have those other engines, you can rely on that until you get scales in order to pop out with Pendulum. Okay, we're going to see the White
I'm just looking at this
here.
visual bug here with Dark Factory of more production.
Yeah, I think any text that goes off the box, just dueling book people. Gotta love it.
Usually it figures it out, but that's pretty funny. Sometimes it doesn't.
Why do we use this?
It's doing the same thing in the graveyard here. I don't even know what that is. I think that's not Ray. That's like going over there, but that's besides the point.
All right, so we're gonna see. I think King of the Skull Servant's coming out here by the effect of White Prince. I believe that might be big enough to walk over the Savage. Now it's definitely big enough to walk over the Savage.
I think the best Burrito can hope for here is actually just to punch for big damage on Gravity Controller. Like, I'm not sure how much outing stuff helps you here.
Attacks into the Metalfoes, I think that...
Yeah, like... Okay, you could argue that that's the worst option, but if you didn't do it, the Gold River's going to pop it anyway, and then Folo gets what he wants. So
that's fair.
He might really care about that back row that he just set.
Alright, we're going to see Loki coming down, and then it's going to be a pass on the turn. We're going to see
Folo
come
that's
here.
the second
I'm pretty
Loki
sure,
of,
unless that back row is like Torrential Tribute, I'm fairly certain this is game.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, Reflection of Endymion, obviously a good card, but
yeah,
the Loptier is just going to tag out. That's what the generators do here. They tag out.
It tags
and if he tries to put any pressure on the Hela, that's going to tag out too, probably into King of the Skull Servants here, since he doesn't have much else, or Har.
Yeah, probably targeting to Har. They're trying to search him more. I believe Folo's still going to be able to get over this. I think that this is game. Unless Burrito has something crazy in the back row, which that could happen. That could be a possibility to have something crazy in the back row. I've seen it happen before. Trinity has
might be a Mirror Force.
Where you
never know.
Have things that do a lot sometimes. Like Mirror Force, people play that unironically. Torrential Tribute, Blind Obliteration.
So, yeah, he is going into King of the Skull Servants here just because it can revive itself to block another hit.
Yeah, King of the Skull Servants, pretty good card. Can be a very big beat stick, or it can just do this and stall out. Which it seems like
now he's gonna bring it back in attack, and nothing Folo has is big enough to get over it.
Yeah, pretty big King of Skull Servants. We're gonna see.
Burrito is just not able to get over the Savage. It's such a big stick with the Magistus really enable it.
We're gonna see the Eccentric come down.
I'm kind of tired of the card, honestly.
Yeah, Savage Dragon. I don't know. It's kind of good.
You know, I played against Impy on Dragon Rulers like a ton, and he always makes Savage, and now Folo is playing the Magistus and always makes Savage. Like,
yeah, Savage, very good card.
I don't know if I would say it's strictly better than other Synchro 8 options like Omega or even Beals, but it just kind of bothers me now that we see it so much, you know?
It's not a strictly better card, but it has the most wide array of circumstances that can be used with its Omni Negate effect. And also, it can just become a pretty big beat stick, allowing to grab any Link monster from the graveyard, attach it to itself.
Also, the Magistus can't make Beals anyway. They need Darks, but...
Yeah. Alright, we're going to see the Zombie being sent to the graveyard for Dark Factory of Mass Production. We're going to see the Samurai Skull.
I think the vampires are live here if he dumps Mizuki.
I think that Burrito might be able to get the ball rolling. Okay, we're going to send Demon Zombie. Buddy Force is going to come down.
He's going for a Synchro.
This gets the Uni Zombie out. Unizombie's going to be able to send a max of 2 cards to the graveyard here. I would suspect...
The thing that's annoying about Unizombie, though, is it locks you into attacking with zombies. And the only zombie Synchro 8, I believe, is Shogun Saga, and it's not very good. The Shiranui one. There might be another, but zombie synchros are just, in general, not very good.
Yeah, despite how good Unizombie is of a card, you basically can't attack the turn you use it with at least synchros. You can go into things like link plays, very easy with that, but there's no
in my experience, the best option for zombie synchros is actually the Shiranui Synchro 7. And what that one does is it banishes a card from your graveyard.
Oh, we're
And
gonna see
then-
Exiton
Ooh.
coming down.
Exiton is
That's
generally a
gonna
strong
wipe
counter
the
to Folo
whole
because
field.
sometimes he just can't recover from the scales.
Oh, now
Uh,
we're just back in neutral game state. Simplified.
But
And
other
that card set
times,
down, and I don't think that Folo, unless Folo has something very good in his hand.
Folo absolutely does spring
Like
back from
specifically
this.
that's probably gonna
Yeah.
do it.
I had a match with Folo earlier where I Exitoned him, and he just still beat me after that.
Yeah, Folo's Pendulum.
I Exitoned him. I made the mistake. I made the mistake of not later Black Rosing him. I had to nuke. I should have nuked his board twice, but I didn't because I thought I could. Grind against him.
All right, so we're gonna see Kagari come down. Sir, get back the jamming waves. I believe he sent to the graveyard
Which-
earlier.
Rips the board.
I think that just gets rid of everything. And if that goes down and Exiton is activated in response, that is just a simplified game state. The Burrito will have another card.
Exiton on the opponent's turn has to be used in the battle phase, actually. But
Yes.
is that enough engrave? Oh, that's absolutely enough engrave. It's 5.
Oh, that
Ouch.
that's gonna be the game.
Yeah,
We're
well,
Gonna go to game 2 here.
I mean, we already know the result here, but
Well, see, we already know the results, but we're gonna act like we don't know the results here, because we want this to be
gotta keep the viewers guessing. Will
what's gonna happen
Burrito
next?
make a comeback?
Is Folo's unbeaten Pendulum deck gonna win, or Burrito? I'll leave that for you to find out. We're gonna see the side and come down here. I don't know if there's
What I will say is,
Burrito's part.
okay, Burrito and I were brewing like these decks a lot. We both kind of neglected the side deck. Burrito doesn't have much to go into here. He might have a Zaphion.
Pendulum does have.
I know
well,
my
I'd say
list had
Pendulum
Zaphion.
well, it still does have very good cards you can side against it. Things like Unending Nightmare,
Unending Nightmare.
both of the Nightmare ones, the one that destroys the continuous spells and the one that destroys the Pendulum skills. Both of those are very good. We did see last ban
I
list.
think
that the
Unending
one that
Nightmare is
destroys-
banned, Flopish. I think it's banned.
Is Unending Nightmare banned?
I'm pretty sure it is.
It counters Pendulums too much. Though the other one, the Quick Play spell, that recently went from Unbound
Wavering
to Unlimited.
Eyes.
Wavering Eyes. Despite mentioning itself, I guess we have decided that it's too good of a card against Pendulum.
You can definitely still run one Wavering Eyes. Like, tweaking back row removal ratios is absolutely a valid way of siding, I think.
Yeah, totally. Against Pendulum, you definitely want more Spell Trap Destruction because you want to get those skills off the board as quickly as possible, so that you can't, so that Folo can't keep recurring those Pendulum summons. That's really one of the big things about Pendulum is just how many resources they can just get not only on the field but keep getting on the field every single turn. We're gonna see a standard open over here. We're gonna see.
You know, without fail, Folo draws it. The Endymion Magistus here. It is also searchable by the Endymion Searcher, so he's technically got 4 copies of it. But just, I feel like this deck. I feel like this deck just makes Borreload Borreload Savage too often.
Yeah, negates very, very good in Trinity format.
Like,
honestly, negates are good in any format.
I miss the
especially
days
Trinity
when
format,
Folo
they are
had to
very
play
good.
Perfect Ace to get a negate.
Yeah. But now, Savage. Cool, what are you supposed to do? Well, I was gonna say this sucks, despite having Savage access.
Well, he only has Savage access if he has scales.
Oh, and
Which-
he has scales.
No, that's a 4 scale.
Oh, that is a 4 scale.
He's gotta have a higher scale.
Pendulums. We're gonna see the Metalfoes
So yeah, this
combination.
might be one of the fabled Folo bricks where he's quote unquote bricked, but he still has scales next turn because of the Metalfoes with combination
yeah,
here.
Folo's deck. Very good deck. What am I supposed to say? See the Savage knock him down here. We're going to see the Buddy Force in the end phase, bringing back the White Baking from the graveyard. Next turn, we're going to be able to activate that effect again. Definitely get a very juiced up Skull, King of the Skull Servants out in the field. Probably going to be able to beat over for quite a bit of damage. Though I wouldn't be surprised if Folo is able to come back from this, because he does have the Aether in the extra deck face up, and that would be able to just banish the King of the Skull Servants. Can't revive itself if it's banished. So overall, I think Folo's in a pretty good position.
Aether is also just an absolutely stupid card. If you don't know, whenever this card is summoned, it banishes a monster. And I used to defend this card being unlimited because I played Ninja, and ninjas like to use this to banish stuff. And honestly, on its own, it's probably not the problem card, but it is kind of what you see before you die fighting Folo.
Yeah, Aether. With Pendulums, you really got to balance the effects that happens when they summon. So, if Pendulums can just keep recurring this monster, they have to banish every single turn, and that eventually just depletes your resources entirely, and can just absolutely get you out of the game.
But going into game 2 here, Burrito does have the graveyard set up live here. He's got the White Prince, the White Baking, the Vampire Retainer even. This deck is running the Vampires. Their back row are very, very good. A Retainer is just a good card.
The Vampires as an engine are pretty good. Have lots of searching, lots of recursion. Back row, like Jeff said, very, very good back row.
Yeah. Vampires have their Counter Trap, and then they also have Takeover, which activates the field spell, summons any vampire, and if you don't know what the vampire field spell does, if a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, the opponent of the person with the field, then the owner of the field gets to, I believe, destroy a card on the field. Yeah. It's kind of like a really weird form of interaction that just trips people up.
Alright, we're going to see the Metalfoes combination activate here.
And now Folo has scales. I mean, What else can you say?
Folo has scales! And
Parametalfoes probably means...
Pendulum.
Yeah. Parametalfoes, if I had to guess, we're going to be seeing Alcahest. Depends on what's in his extra deck. He doesn't have it unless there's another Metalfoes in his hand, which may or may not be. It'd be a 1 scale.
Yeah,
otherwise he
if
would
it's a
have
1
done
scale, I
something
don't
last
believe
turn.
that Folo would have placed it down. So he may have it in his hand. We're going to see...
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to go for the Savage, honestly. I mean, can't fault him for that.
This is true. He's going to come down. We're going to equip something from the extra deck, I believe. Yeah, we're going to be able to equip the Magistus Xyz monster from the extra deck. Magistus, very good archetype. Despite not being too good in the TCG, has seen lots of success here in Trinity, just by the amount of advantage that these cards can gain.
Yeah, their gimmick is all of the main decks except for like one of them that nobody plays equips their extra deck monsters, and this means all of their normal summons flex into Breaker the Magical Warrior, DD Warrior Lady, just a Searcher, or I believe the last one just boosts their attack. It's not very useful.
Yeah, but overall, I'd say the Magistus is a pretty good archetype. That's why we're being able to see it run here. We're gonna have skills be set. We may see a big Pendulum summon here, unless Burrito has something in response.
That was an interesting compulse. Like, you know, I think he'd say...
Aether's going to banish that King of the Skull Servants. Like I said earlier, King of the Skull Servant is not going to be able to bring itself back if it is banished. Forbidden Droplets coming down. I'm going to say no to that Aether.
That's fair as any. Just the fact that Folo has his monsters in defense position is a win here for Burrito, honestly.
Yeah, I believe Burrito has. I wouldn't be too sure. Folo does have a lot of cards. Has 3 cards in his hand and 3 cards in his back row. Unless those cards are bluffs. I believe Folo is still.
One of them is Parametalfoes, which is dead, and okay, yeah. Dueling Book replays hover over them. We know exactly what they are now.
He's got some Sky Strikes cards. Actually, no, he has no cards. What cards are those? We don't even know. You didn't see anything. Ooh.
This is 100% professional post commentary.
Exactly.
To be honest, maybe we should have just turned on Show Both Hands.
The Trinity
but...
Discord server here. We are amazing community, by the way. Discord, I think, is in the description.
It will be, yes.
Yes, it's going to be in the description.
Along with all our resources, even the Twitter that nobody pays attention to.
We have a Twitter, by the way.
Follow us on Twitter at Trinity Yugioh.
To follow us for honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know what's posted on the Twitter. I've seen it like one time.
It's mostly memes.
Follow for memes, I suppose. All right, we're gonna see the anchor come down here. Just negating, I suppose. Oh, you can negate the King of Skull Servers. That means it has 0 attack due to its effect because it has a question mark attack and gains attack based on something, which makes it so that if it's negated, 0 attack.
Oh, this is gonna.
Okay, Tornado Dragon coming
so
down. We're gonna be able to pop the
Tornado
scale.
Dragon to hit the scales is great, but also it's like too little, too late. He's got the Metalfoes fusion, so Folo's gonna recover from this basically.
Sometimes his deck just generates too much advantage. He like whenever he does anything, it just like it's not overextending. You don't really use your hand all too much on resources because you just get it all back. So we have the Metalfoes fusion set here. Professional commentary, by the way. We're professionals. All right. Like you may have been able to see earlier over Jeff's hovering. Hornet Drone's gonna come down here from the set. We're gonna see a token come down. We're gonna see probably a Kagari as well.
Yeah, I just kind of zoned out in the music there for a second. I like jazz.
Jazz is a very good type of music. Like this video if you like jazz.
Barry B. Benson approved.
Do you know that only a small percentage of our viewers are subscribed? So if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. We would really appreciate it a lot.
And an even smaller percentage of our viewers are actually, in fact, bees.
Okay, hear me out. One of our viewers might be a bee.
You can never discount the possibility that your viewer base is bees.
It's a hive. All right, back to the game. We're gonna see the Hornet Drone being added back.
Yeah, Folo's going through the Sky Striker motions here. Zeke is just a card. People kind of like ignored it on its release, but it does do things for Sky Striker. Especially in this build where Folo wants to pop his own cards anyway. Like, he wants to get the chicken game off the field. He wants to trigger the Metalfoes, you know? And it just, like, 2500 stick that triggers his stuff. Like, what more can you ask for in Pendulum, right?
Yeah. Tornado Dragon here. I don't know if it was... It's a very good option to pop stuff, but since Folo really wants everything in his deck destroyed, you really can't, because even if you win, you kind of lose in this situation. Because even if you get rid of that scale, Bismugear is going to have its effect in the end phase. Going to be able to add Metalfoes cards from the deck to the hand. So I believe Folo is still sitting pretty good here.
For any TCG viewers, just for some context on Sky Striker and Trinity, Ray is pointed, and their Rhoda +1, what's it called? Engage. Engage is just straight up banned. Despite that,
like TCG.
Yeah, for a long time, Engage was not banned in the TCG. But despite that, Striker is still a powerful engine, just because all of their cards are +1 if they've got the spells in the graveyard. You know, Widow Anchor is still kind of insane. The one that grabs from Graveyard is relevant surprisingly often. Graveyard interaction is kind of scarce in Trinity, but it's really useful.
Yeah, Graveyard interaction, very good against, surprisingly, the large amount of Graveyard decks we have here in the Trinity format. Just like the TCG, if you're accustomed with that. Lots of Graveyard decks, so people run things like Skullmeister, DD Crow, Called by the Grave, and things like the Sky Striker Shark Cannon, very good to stop graveyard plays from happening. Like zombies, for instance, that really want the graveyard here.
Yeah, just in a singleton format, having an extra duplicate means a lot. Like, there's an argument for running Ghost Mourner, as awful as it is, just because it's an extra effect veiler type of card. And some decks want that.
Yes. See, deck building is pretty interesting here in Trinity. You got to really think about your options, about how much you really want to run it, how much you really want to see it.
You know what's
Very
better
interesting
than one
format.
King of the Skull Servants? Two King of the Skull Servants.
Two King of the Skull Servants. Those are some pretty meaty Skull Servants, I think.
Burrito's deck here
DD Crow's
isn't
gonna
even
come
like.
down here. Does DD Crow make it so that he doesn't die?
Burrito's deck here isn't even like heavily invested into the Skull Servants. You can see like something like Deleted's deck is trying to dump them to the graveyard as fast as possible. Burrito is basically just aiming to resolve White Baking once and then have it as a value creature. You can use it as link material if he needs it. If it gets big, that's cool, but he doesn't need it to.
Also very good at deck thinning too. I think the engine, all those cards are already in the graveyard, so all those cards are out of the deck, able to draw some better cards.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Come down here.
So, yeah, he triggered Link Kuriboh to avoid the Alcahest. That's neat.
All right, so I think we're back at simplified game state here. Burrito's going to get back the Tornado Dragon that was temporarily banished, since Zeke only temporarily manages. So we're going to see this Tornado Dragon come back. It doesn't have any Exceed material, so it's not going to be able to pop any spells that traps, but it's still a pretty big body.
Folo is calling out the heart of the cards.
Alright.
Yeah, normally in these simplified game states, zombies should just take over the mid game and win. But that's just not the reality of it. The deck sometimes has trouble getting there, and even once it does get there, it can be out-tempoed, even if it has, more resources for longer.
Like Pendulum, especially by something like something like
See,
Folo.
look,
Pendulum,
Folo just has the scales.
He has scales. So apparently he's still in this one. 800 life points and a dream.
Can Pendulum summon Aether and have a dream, right?
Gonna be able to banish the King of the Skull Servants here. He's still in this. I don't know how the Madman does it.
Can I just say, in the background here, Pokemart theme absolutely slaps. They should not have gotten rid of the Pokemarts whenever they did that. We lost this incredible piece of music.
Alright, we're going to see the Link Kuriboh effect go in response to the Aether. We're trying to bait it out here. Alright, we're going to see the effect come down here in order to pop our other scale. Metalfoes Fusion, and and get back the Gold Driver. Yeah, new Metalfoes cards, by the way, came out in the newest set, Lightning Vortex. They're pretty good, I think.
We opted not to hit any of them, which is a weird option because normally in Trinity, when something comes out, especially for a strong archetype, usually we're gunning to hit it. And these Metalfoes cards are certainly not bad. Like Melcaster, it's some recovery. Parametalfoes is also recovery, actually, but it's like aggressive recovery. It fuses from your extra deck.
I think it matters less of the effects of the Metalfoes and more that's just more Metalfoes cards.
Yeah, just names for Metalfoes matter a lot because
names, because Pendulum need those scales.
Yeah, they got a new scale that has the same effect as all the other scales to target one and destroy it, and then set a Metalfoes card. And that's just really good. I think they might have actually gotten two, but I'm not sure if the other one's worth playing. Might have a different scale effect.
I know, is Folo playing the Vanquisher?
I don't think he is on Vanquisher. Vanquisher is interesting. It's like, it's like Aether, but only if it's summoned by the effect of a Metalfoes card. And there's just not nearly enough things to enable that. You've got Mithralum will enable it, actually. Card on the field right now.
The more important effect is the Destroy 2. You are able to summon it from your hand by destroying two Metalfoes cards you control, being able to activate their effects especially the Metalfoes spell slash traps, which all have effects when they're destroyed, except I think Parametalfoes.
Well, the thing is, the Metalfoes do that anyway. They don't need many more ways to destroy things. Like, they kind of need more things worth destroying, which is what we got here with Melcaster. It's why Folo runs stuff like Checking Game, because, he plays it, he gets the Upstart Goblin, he destroys it so the opponent doesn't get their Upstart Goblin. It's just really good.
We're going to see Burrito do a little 2-set over here. Going to see the Ignite Reload come down. Going to shuffle back the low scale. Potentially draw into a high scale. If he draws into a high scale, I believe that this is just game.
Yeah, I believe Spell Power Mastery gets him the scale he needs.
Mastery's a pretty good card.
Servant. Stealing's an 8, so yeah, Servant.
Servant, we're going to see Aerospace come down. Servant's going to have...
Yeah, you see, like, things to destroy. The Area 0, if you destroy it, it summons Ray. It's nasty.
Yeah.
We're
going to see
that's
the
funny.
Come down
Oh
here.
my god, that's a Pendulum side.
One. That's a Pendulum counter and a...
Oh, Folo actually scooped.
Wait, no, that kills.
Yeah, he died to the burn. He was at 800 and destroyed 3 cards.
Burn for game. That's what I every day here. Only at
got a ban burn in Trinity?
Only at Trinity Format.
Oh my god. So yeah, Trinity has philosophy against alternate win cons, and people will point at stuff like that Fairy Wind burn for game and say like, "Oh, you're not hitting burn hard enough." Like, what? Fairy Wind is a good card anyway. Fairy Wind is a good card anyway for removing stuff. It's just like when burn is the only thing a deck is doing. That's stupid.
Yeah. Recently I tried testing with a deck because we, for some reason, have both Nurse and Samochi legal, which I, by the way, do not think should be legal. They just enable a plethora of unfun and degenerate strategies, like the deck I built. And while it is inconsistent and it doesn't really do much, the bad part about it is that
we can tell you this story as Burrito has opened the Solitaire to Unizombie to Frolin. This is like the standard zombie thing to stall out and get some turns with like monsters on board.
Frolin, very good card. I believe
Flopish
went to unlimited.
Flopish was playing this Nurse Burn deck against me, and he got everything. Like, he just searched everything he needed, and then he didn't realize that Red Reboot cannot negate a trap affecting graveyard, so I breakthrough skilled his Nurse with the affecting graveyard, and his deck had nothing else.
I more set the Red Reboot so that if you had potentially had a back row that could stop the combo, I would be able to activate it and then stop that, but I should have set the Samochi as well. Deck is very unfun. Don't build it. Don't take my advice. Please ban it.
Don't play it. If you do well with it, it's gonna get banned anyway. So
yeah, don't do it. I mean, maybe you want to do it. Maybe you want to go. Ooh, you want to join the Discord down in the description.
This is looking to be an interesting start to Game 3 here. Both players kind of have what they want. Burrito has the Uni Zombie in rotation, and Folo
has cards.
Folo has scales, and he also has the Sky Striker field, which means he can get into Sky Striker stuff here with Steel and popping it, which he is doing now. It's gonna summon a Ray. It's gonna. Yeah, this deck it abuses the Sky Striker like no other, with the Metalfoes to pop the field.
Yeah, and I think the Sky Striker field spell can also pop the Metalfoes cards, I believe.
Yes, it can, but usually you whiff with it. If it does, like, cool. The deck doesn't really care one way or another.
Here. Burrito is still pretty safe, has the Frolin in hand. So if Ray tries to get in, the Frolin is going to come down. And Frolin
I think he's also just going to go into the direct attacker.
Very good card. Frolin
you go into the direct attacker, you dump something, then you go into the red striker and you grab that thing, and it's such a nice self-contained engine. Though actually, whatever striker he goes into will be summon 3 here. So
Yeah,
let's
so
not get too hasty. He's actually
gonna
going
go
into
into
Shizuku.
Shizuku.
So he's going to take the end phase summon over a dub, which is basically equivalent. You just get damage in with the green striker if you go into it.
Alright, Shizuku's probably gonna add something like Anchor?
It's almost always Widow Anchor.
Yeah. I don't know, sometimes you want Shark Hands.
Yeah, and sometimes you want
actually
Afterburners, actually, is pretty great.
I see that be added to the hand here. Now it's gonna be Burrito's turn.
It's just that straight +1 that is Afterburners, like.
Yeah, all the
kind of
subtracted cards
insane.
are very, very good. It's just such a good self-contained engine. We can't stress this enough. Folo's deck is just a culmination of all the best stuff in Trinity Format and Pendulum.
Yeah, basically.
You may not be able to tell, but Folo only plays Pendulum. It doesn't matter if he's playing casually. It doesn't matter if he's playing competitively. It doesn't matter if he's playing in the Trinity Cup. It doesn't matter if he's playing in Champs. He will play Pendulum.
I think I saw him play something else like once.
No, you're lying.
Yeah,
Folo has never touched another deck than Pendulum his entire life. Folo is like our self-contained Steven Trifanovsky in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trinity Discord. Great commentary.
So it's back to Burrito's turn here. He survived without taking any damage, which honestly is that's a win against Pendulum. If he can find a way to wipe the scales here, he might be in it. Regardless, he's gonna have to deal with Afterburners.
The Skull Servant stuff down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going through the Skull Servant motions, but
yeah,
that doesn't get him to back row removal.
Yeah, I believe Mirazami sent white baking effect. Very good. That card is insane. We're gonna see the King of Skull Servants come down here. I don't think it's that big of a King of Skull Servants, but he does probably have the White Mare in hand.
It's just a body here. It's an extender. It's something Unizombie can dump to get a summon without needing other setup. That's really what it is.
The King of the Skull Servant is a pretty big body. Like we saw last game, that it had like...
Yeah, I say that, but it's already 2K with White Baking and the White Mare. And he's got the Lady in White up, which makes it unaffected by spell trap card effects. Jeez.
Yeah. A lot of Trinity decks, you're going to be able to see some very good self-contained engines. You're going to be able to see a lot of interaction between cards and decks. And then you're also going to be able to see some decks that don't have any interaction and just sit on back row. Because there's always going to be that one person.
Ooh, okay. Well, now we know why Folo didn't search the Widow Anchor. He already had it.
Yeah, I'm going to anchor the... We're going to see the DD Crow come down. I think
he's
that
anchoring Lady in White? What? Did I miss something here?
No, I believe it was a DD Crow down to the White Baking in response to the King of Skull Servant attack. Going to lower the attack. And that's going to cause the King of the Skull Servants to just run straight into that Shizuku. And take a sweet 700 for pass and go. You'll be able to bring yourself back though by banishing one more. And yeah, that's just gonna be on the.
Well, it's a 0 attack or 1,000 attack king now, so like, eh.
Zombie second effect gonna go off here. Zombie, such a good card. If you're not getting rid of it, it's just gonna keep gaining advantage every turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know the thing is, like, in the TCG, Shiranui Solitaire is like, oh, 1-card Omega combo. You know, you get to really pop off with it. Here in Trinity, you kind of want your starter, your Unizombie or your Gozuki to last multiple turns to keep dumping stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Unizombie modulated the white to make a tornado dragon. That's neat.
Yeah, very cool plays you can do with Unizombie. Very cool Xyz synchro plays you can do.
Yeah, not a lot of people know
these
this,
decks
but
have very cool plays.
it can target things other than itself. It can even target your opponent's monsters that have levels. Just pretty wild.
Yeah, Unizombie, pretty stacked card. We're gonna see Tornado Dragon come down. Set rotation in the end phase.
So this gets Folo Sky Iris, which will pop the Metalfoes card he has set. I believe he set combination, yeah. And he has scales again. It just works.
It's just
yeah. That's almost definitely Sky Iris.
Yep. Pendulum. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
advantage.
This destruction engine is so interesting because, like, you know, it's getting the value off both the effect and the cost of the card. Which is just really great. And it also gives Folo protection against back row removal. Normally you want to remove the scales, but some of them float, some of the set cards float. Yeah, everything kind of floats.
Yeah, so you really got to decide what you're destroying with spell set trap destruction, but the heavy storm duster is going to come down.
That will
and the scale.
That will be trouble for Folo. I'm actually curious how he might take this back now.
We are going to see the Afterburners come down here, destroy both the chicken game that he set to Burrito's field and the Tornado Dragon. And
he had the other Metalfoe in hand, so that's one way to get scales.
Yeah, that scales. It like one of my favorite people, Todd Howard, said, it just works. Metalfoes Fusion going to be placed by the Gold Driver, but that's not really what matters
here. He has a vanilla in his extra deck, so that's an Alcahest if he wants it. That's an Orichalc if he wants it. It's really anything.
Yeah, Pendulum is just such a toolbox.
I think most likely we're going to see the one that has removal. I forgot what it's called. Metalfoes all have weird names. If he can make it, Mithralum would probably be the best one for Folo here. I'm not sure if he can make it without going like really neg though.
We're going to see Kagari come down, grab the Widow Anchor, and possibly and probably
going to take Frolin to keep it from walling him out.
Yeah, Frolin, very good card. It just walls your opponent out basically completely from attacking. It does cost life points, but it can be used offensively and defensively, so very good card.
Yeah, part of the reason we're seeing so many zombies is Frolin was moved to unlimited this list, which first time it's been unlimited since Eldritch the Golden Lord was banned, basically. You know, a lot of people say Frolin's not the problem card. It's complicated, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if you've played zombies, walling on Frolin is like the worst feeling in the world. Like, it's kind of sad that this is your best play, basically searching Battle Fader.
But it's a pretty good Battle Fader, though.
Yeah, it works.
Right, we're gonna see...
Personally, I think I'm fine with it unlimited for the time being. You know, like 3 zombies in Top Cut, you might say it's an issue, but I think that's more just, you know, we had a lot of people playing zombies, 3 to be specific. 100% of zombie players topped.
Yep.
I'm not making a great case for not hitting zombies here, but the meta is like it's undiscovered. It's the first cup of the format. And
yeah, we're gonna be able to make 2
zombies
Mithril here.
Yep, Mithril, just like I said, it's like this is all the Metalfoes fusions that are effect monsters are pretty good. That's just the truth of it.
Wait, is this game?
I think it is.
This is game.
24 plus 26 plus 25. Yeah, that's game.
Hey, and that is going to do it. Folo is your 2021 January YTC Yu-Gi-Oh! Trinity Cup champion.
Yeah, if you enjoyed that, check us out. Discord's in the description. We don't usually plug, but why not?
Every YouTuber's doing it nowadays.
Honestly, I gotta make a habit of plugging. You know, like and subscribe. Am I right?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, comment down below to boost the algorithm. We really need this one. Come on.
So
All right. Well, that's gonna do it.
yeah. See
Hope you
ya.
have a nice day, and goodbye.
Stay groovy. I gotta come up with a better catchphrase. That one's Mika's. Gotta stop using it.